Hey. Settle down. Listen. I ain't normally one to squawk, but sure. I'll tell you about it. Tell you about the whole thing, yeah? I mean, who wouldn't make the same choice, right? Offer the opportunity of a lifetime, the score of a lifetime. Wouldn't you do it too? I mean, yeah, I would. I would. But let me go ahead and tell you about our fine flock of felonious fowl from Tavern Watch. Yeah, they're a real Pigeons 11.
So, we were wanting to talk about stealing the recipe in addition to getting the trophy. I think you had a plan, Cece?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to Drum because somebody mentioned something and I thought that was an excellent idea. Hey, Drum.
Yep.
You know how you got all those disguises and good stuff and costumes and your feathers there?
I do know that.
And I know this is a big ask, can you make me look like Chris Metzel?
Hold on. I pick up my phone and I immediately look at a picture that I have saved of Chris Metzel.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say one thing.
I need to make rolls here.
I'm gonna count this as a call to Lou. Like, you would have had to have thought about this in advance and prepared it, you know? Okay. So I'm gonna count this as a call to the nest,
all right,
which gives you 1 heat, and you have to make a roll.
I'll assume that I'm the one doing that, because I'm the one who needs materials. Okay, so I need to roll above a 1.
Above a 1. If you roll equal a 1, something will happen.
Okay. You've been rolling 1s all day, so don't do that now.
Be a good thing.
It's a 1.
It's a 1. Okay, rolling equal. So making the call gives you 1 heat. Rolling equal to your heat, you will clear your heat. So instead of still having 1 heat, you have no heat. And you also get to pull off a move called a big con. Hang on, I have to look up. I have to double check exactly how that works.
This game system has me constantly depressed by good things.
I thought you had failed the roll.
Okay, there are actually... this is a game that is very narrative-focused, and there are lots of ways to do good things and interesting things. So, when you roll your exact amount of heat, you clear your heat, and then you get to describe how your action was an awesome success by pulling a big con. When pulling a big con, you decide how you made your action a success and come up with a name for your big con. Like, you know, this is the cartwheel. This is the doubles. You know, this is, it has a fancy con name that you have pulled to do this.
So this is called the I wasn't stalking him, I swear. I just needed a lot of pictures of him for unrelated reasons.
That's killing it. You're killing it here.
Basically, between me and you cut back to when Lou first called me about the gig, and I was like, "Oh, I just got out of the nest with like all the kids. I'm going to do the cosplay contest." And he goes, "I don't care if you do cosplay." And I was like, "Okay, but I need this. I got this face box that you can put the thing up to a face, and it can read the face and then print out a really good latex 3D mask, but I don't have any kind of like printer for that." And he goes, "Oh, I know this guy named Joe in Buffalo. He can do that for us." And so the guy in Buffalo, 3D prints the mask and sends it expedited shipping to us. And he handed me the mask, and now I hand the mask to her, going, this is an exact copy of his face. Here are the gloves. I couldn't get his fingerprints.
That's okay. Do you have any sunglasses? Because I notice he's always wearing sunglasses. I'm assuming it's because the lights. There's a lot of glare.
I pull out a wig that it matches his hair in the picture exactly, and the wig actually has sunglasses that clip into it. I figured you'd need the sunglasses.
Ooh, this is fantastic.
Here's his muffin shirt
Okay.
Like sometimes he wears a muffin shirt and sometimes he wears a cake shirt. And, he's like, for the muffins or glory to the cake. I figured he'd probably go muffins this year. Based on previous years, I've analyzed in my Excel spreadsheet on him.
Okay.
So that's not creepy at all.
You like him, don't you?
Not personally, I don't know him, but I mean, he made a lot of games I like. I mean, you mentioned, Breadthorn, that's a deep cut, and the Frosted Vikings. That was one of my favorites. I also liked Rock and Roll Kitchen, which was just lots of cooking.
The bakery level was the best.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So yeah. He has made a positive influence on my life because I spent a lot of time sitting in a nest, unable to do anything with a bunch of ungrateful, not willing to hatch baby emus screaming at me from inside their eggs. So yeah, it's been a lifesaver having the games. Yeah.
CC just kind of looks at you. How many kids do you have?
None.
Oh.
Emus don't. It don't matter if you're related. They needed a man to sit in the nest with them because men were fatter, and you don't eat for like 4 months.
Well, you're warm.
So,
okay.
But you don't eat for 4 months, and you can't really leave the nest for like 4 months. So you kind of have to do your business in there. It's just a really unpleasant thing, and no female emu is going to lay eggs and then do that too. They're like, nope, you guys have to do this part, and we're generally like, okay.
Look, equal distribution of labor is not something I object to.
No,
but
it's the way
it doesn't. It does still sound like a raw deal. All right, I'm gonna put the mask on, and I'm gonna put the wig on, and snap the sunglasses in place, and put on a little muffin and slide on the gloves, and I'm gonna go. What do you think? Do I look like him?
Yeah, it's actually terrifying how much you look like him. Except of course that she's a pigeon, but other than that, yeah, it's straight up.
Cool.
Also, I gotta ask you a question.
Yes.
You're a girl, right?
Yes, I am.
You're dressed up as a dude peacock thing because peacocks are dudes.
We don't ask questions about that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were doing it on purpose.
Pay attention if you're pretty. Have you seen what a female looks like?
Yeah, I know one. Sarah, she's one of the people who supplies me with latex.
Wow.
She never asked me any questions about it, which is great because it is super embarrassing. Like, I'm making a mask of a guy I don't even know, but just, it's one of those things. I'm going to go listen to music and calm down now.
Okay. Hey, Frankie?
I go walking over to him with the full getup on.
Whoa. Hey, whoa. Mr. Metzel, it's an honor, sir.
It's great to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Oh, wow. Really? How do you...
I can't wait for you to pull off this bitchin' heist.
Wait a minute. I'm going to go, is that you?
CC.
Holy cow, what a good costume. All right, what are we doing?
So, you know how I want to go get that recipe?
You've mentioned it a time or two.
So I figured maybe if I look the part, I can just ask for it. But I'm wondering, because, oh my gosh, what's her name? She's got really good eyes, right? She's got really good eyes.
That is Lucy Lucille, the head.
Lucy Lucille. She's got like really good eyes and got like a sense for this thing. So I'm thinking maybe you could offer some kind of a beefy distraction while I ask one of the other low-level bakers if I can get my hands, because I can't ask her. If I ask her, she's gonna see right through this thing. I'm scared she's gonna see right through. I mean,
I know I sound just like him, but like
she's real clever, that one.
I got just the right idea. All we need is to have her in too many places at once, and she won't have time to overthink about how about how her own boss is asking for his own recipe back. I got the perfect idea.
Oh, I've got an idea too.
You do?
In my journal on my phone, but I don't show anyone this, but I start writing fanfic about how Frankie seduces this chef with his gruff masculine charms. It's like, yes, and her eyes locked with his, and they both realized that they were in a brooding mood. That's kind of dirty. Oh, well, whatever. Who can't be in a brooding mood around Christopher Metzel?
Okay,
So,
Professor,
Frank?
you want to come with us too?
Yeah.
Perfect. Multiple hands will make this easy. So I'll tell you what we do. So she got like the sixth sense for anything going wrong in the kitchen, right?
I do want to. I
go
want to pause this and see if Thurston, Do you want to be involved in this, or is there anything else you would like to be doing before we get involved in another thing?
I think I do want to take a swing by and see if I can see if there is a security center that's got anything that we haven't covered.
Let's do that, and then we'll come back to our recipe heist. So make me a brains roll.
It's going to be a 3.
And that is a success. So you were upstairs the other day. You did a little cursory looking around, and you walk in there casually like you were meant to be there, looking left, right, and there is a block of offices, and you see a lot of security people coming and going from these offices. You can deduce from kind of the security, they aren't really guarding this so much as there's a crowd of them coming and going. And you think that's probably their headquarters down in this little office block at the end of the corridor. It's up on a mezzanine over the main floor. So let's see. I would ask you to do a feathers roll to sneak in here. Or perhaps you could do a nest and call for a security outfit. They are all wearing black suits and a variety of colored ties.
Let's see. I'm not going to be very good at a feathers check with my...
Yeah, it's not...
background there.
I will say, if you want to ask anyone else's help, you could also do that. Someone could either give you advantage on a roll or play some part in this, if anyone would like to join.
Well, in that case, what I think I'll do is call the nest for the flock of seagulls.
That's an excellent choice. So, you call the nest. At first, I'm going to make you... This gives you second heat, so you are up to 2 heat. And I'm going to make you do the heat roll. No, so the heat is individual. It's not party-based.
Cool.
So, Thurston has 1, and now you have 2. So you need to roll over a 2 or equal to a 2. I think you have pretty good odds.
All right. That's a 3.
A 3 is a success. So you do gain a heat, but no negative consequences from it. And you call on Lou, who is able to provide you with a security uniform. It is a completely black suit with white shirt and a pink tie. So you disguise yourself, and of course sunglasses. They're all wearing sunglasses, even inside, all the time. And using this disguise, you manage to hang on. You wanted to do the flock of seagulls, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I get something else in my mind. Okay, let's see. Flock of seagulls is going to be... I'm double checking what it actually says about the flock of seagulls. So, engaging a crew of seagulls that could cover your tracks, cause a distraction, or ruffle some feathers. Okay, what do you want the seagulls to do?
I'm going to have some seagulls fly in, and one of the security guards has just put down a hot pizza that they've got.
Oh.
So the security guards aren't much for the baked goods pretzel scene. And so we'll say that the seagulls just got in and are going to town on that pizza. Okay,
yes. The seagulls come in, they break a window. One of these big, it's floor-to-ceiling glass walls up here. The seagulls break a window and make a beeline for that pizza. And the security room is in an uproar. How do you deal with a seagull who has suddenly come in from outside and is attacking your pizza? There are seagulls in the room flying in circles with pieces of pizza in their beak, just like outside of the reach of the security team. And there are people like jumping up trying to grab the pizza. There are people trying to defend the pizza on the table. No one.
There's at least one person going, I ran so far away.
Yeah, you think you're going to
reference.
Well, and if you're playing World of Breadcraft, you know that seagulls are bad news.
Oh,
always bad news. So, Thurston, you can stroll right in and do whatever you want. There are banks of computers here with tons of monitors showing the convention center from all different angles. And there's a bunch of like servers off to the side plugged all into each other, lots of cables, networking cables, power cables, all of that stuff.
I think what I'd most like to try to do is see if I can find some kind of security shift schedule and adjust it to make sure that a couple extra guards get cut and there's extra long shift changes right around when we're trying this heist.
Okay, so you go into the computer, type. You pull up a security schedule, and you see which guards are on duty, and you switch it out so there's a guard change while you're planning to do all of this. And you hit print on it, and then you run off with a stack of papers. You tape this up to the wall on top of the other security schedules. And you yell, shift changes, new schedule, and make your way out of there in the chaos while half of the room is dealing with the seagulls who have made off with most of the pizza by now. And half of the room is like, did they change shifts? Why did they change the shift schedule? And looking at the new schedule he posted.
All right, I'm going to grab a donut off someone's desk on the way out.
Absolutely. You have acquired one donut.
Is it jelly in the middle?
You know it.
So, yes, let's get back to your heist down here in the bakery.
All right, so Frankie's in the midst of explaining his plan, which is, all right, so what we do is we just make so many things go wrong in the kitchen at once that the psychic chef can't keep up with it all. And so when our perfectly disguised Chris Wetzel here asks for his own recipe, no one will think twice.
Yeah, so like switch out the sugar shakers to the salt and things like that, you mean?
Exactly. Set some ovens to the wrong temperature, set some timers incorrectly so they're beeping before or after they should.
Swap around some sandwiches for
problems.
the pretzel barons. Get that gluten-free bread going to the wrong gamer.
Ooh.
Exactly.
How
You
rude.
got
I
the
like
spirit
it.
already.
Okay, you guys get the chaos going, and then I'll slip in. And by slip in, I'll mean stride right up like I own the place, because I do.
Walk confidently in and ask for your thing, because this is your big day.
Yeah.
All right, come on, Professor. We're gonna raise a little. We're gonna raise a little heck.
So I will give you several options. You tell me what you want to roll based on how you do this. You could use a brains roll if you want to, like, okay, I'm going to think about this, and I know exactly the wrong temperature to turn the ovens, or I know exactly the wrong thing to do. You could use wings if you're going to go in with, like, agility. You're going to be just super fast and sneak in so no one can see you when you do this. Or you could use talons, which is, going in with strength and brawling skills. That you're just gonna push through the crowd of bakers here and do what you need to do. Or you could use feathers if you want to be stealthy about it. You want to blend in, look like you're supposed to be there, or you want to sneak in.
I'll tell you what I want to do.
Use feathers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I want to roll stealthily because I have an edge that helps me with that.
Okay.
The big box home improvement store background gives me an edge on sneaking around and always being on the move, which is exactly what I want. I just want to go from place to place, just subtly manipulating, just being real subtle.
Okay, so you give me a feathers roll with advantage.
Let's see, feathers. I'm on a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So here we go. I didn't get either of those. I got a 2 and a 4.
Ooh. Yeah, neither of those is good. So you are going to take a heat, and I need you to make a heat roll for me. You only have one heat, so you need to roll. Yeah, this is. There's basically no losing this roll, but you need to roll anyway.
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
Okay, so you sneak in, and it's just obvious. I mean, it's busy right now. There's a lot of people here, but it's obvious you don't belong. You don't have the right costume. It really looks like you're sneaking in to steal pretzels because a lot of people have been trying to get behind the counter. They want those limited edition winter mint pretzels. So someone at the front counter is like, hey, no, not just anyone can come in here. You're going to have to stand in line like everybody else. I don't know why I'm doing that accent. It just happened.
Because we're all doing accents today. It's great.
There's a lot of like New York, Jersey kind of accents that you just sort of do accidentally when we're doing this.
Hey, I'm flapping here.
So you do not succeed, but you do not suffer any further consequences from this.
Yeah, right, Professor. Looks like it's up to you.
Hmm?
All right. I'm going to use my magician's assistant background and roll feathers. Try and sleight of hand all of these sandwiches.
Okay, so roll. Yeah.
That's a 5.
That is a success on a feathers roll. So what exactly are you doing here? You're mixing the sandwiches up?
Yep, I'm going to send the wrong bread to the gluten-free player.
Okay. So yes, you shuffle all of the sandwich orders, making sure to send the normal, non-gluten-free bread on the sandwiches to all of the pretzel barons. So, and you mix up...
And also their cheese gets swapped up, and there's mustard on sandwiches that should have had onions.
And, the whole table here, you mix everything up. So now they're getting the orders wrong for everyone who's been waiting in line. That clogs up everything. There's a crowd. Everyone's demanding their sandwiches being remade. It's slowing everything down. This crowd of hungry pretzel lovers is waiting and upset. And so the kitchen is just a mess right now, as everyone is on double work to remake all of these sandwiches.
And I come strolling on up. Hey, what's up, everybody?
And I do want you to make a feathers roll to how convincing you are, and I'll say you can make it with advantage. I mean, you've put a lot of work into this costume. I mean, this is amazing.
Okay. I got a 0. That's a 10? Is that
on a D10? That's a 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, a 10 is actually, this is perfect. A 10, you are rolling your cover, which your cover is your disguise that you have chosen for this event, and you switched your cover into this Christopher Metzel costume. So absolutely, this is perfect. This is the dice telling the perfect story for us. You are completely convincing. There is some of the people in sandwich line are coming over to you. Chris, Metzel, can I have an autograph? Can I? Yeah. So.
Whoa. Oh, okay. Everybody calm down. What's going on with the line here, guys? I lean into the chefs.
Just a mistake with, Lucy is up front. Just a mistake with the ordering system, Chris. We're working on it right now. We're gonna sort this out. Just gonna take us a few extra minutes. Don't worry, everybody. We're gonna make all of these sandwiches perfect with extra pretzels on the side for everybody in the crowd.
Oh, hey, that's rad. What do you think, guys? For the wheat, for the muffin.
Yeah, there's just different portions of the crowd break out into cheers. You've got everyone hyped up and super excited.
Turn around to the show. You mind if I duck in the back for a second? It's getting a little cramped out here.
Go for it, Chris. No problem. I'm gonna be up here, and she's making sandwiches really fast, throwing together bags of pretzels.
Cool. All right. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Go into the back. And I find a chef. I need to find a chef who's working on pretzels, specifically the winter mint pretzels. But is there anybody back there who's making them right now, pulling them out of the oven or anything like that?
I will say so. They've been in very, very high demand. So there is someone sort of in a rush around the back of the bakery trying to get more out there for hungry, demanding, winter mint loving fans.
I'm just gonna stroll right up to him. Hey, how's it going? How's it going with the new stuff?
Mr. Metzel. Oh, your new pretzels are so popular. We have been so busy baking fresh ones up.
It's weird. I don't know what's going. The vibes are off with it. Right, vibes are off. And I had a couple people tell me that they weren't quite as cool at the end as they usually are.
Oh no! Oh, do I have? Okay, so he's
do you mind if I check that recipe you got? I just want to make sure they printed it right.
Of course, Mr. Metzel. He pulls a notebook out of his pocket, and he's like flipping through it, and he's I'm sure holding it out where you can see it. I'm sure I did the proportions right. I'm gonna, maybe the spearmint. Maybe I didn't use enough spearmint oil. Oh,
yeah, let me see.
Yeah. He hands it right over to you.
I take it. I'm like, I need to make him a couple of corrections. You got a pen?
Yeah, of course. And, he pulls one out of, again, his pocket.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta go.
Yes.
Gotta go check my phone real quick. Somebody's texting me real fast.
I'll add some more spearmint to these.
Go ahead.
Right away.
I'll be right back. Walk out with the notebook. And if anybody asks, I'm gonna go. If anybody tries to stop me, I'm gonna go. Sorry, guys. I got a press event at 2. I gotta go get to. I'll see you all later.
Don't forget to grab a tray of those.
Don't forget about the winter mint. It's real special.
Yeah, confiscate a tray of those poorly made pretzels on your way out.
Oh, hey, can I have a bag of the winter mint to go?
Of course, Mr. Everyone in the back. There are a few people who are they're very frazzled baking crew. They hop right to it to get you a bag of these pretzels.
Great, thanks, guys. See you later. You're doing real good work. I'm really proud of y'all. Yeah, keep it up. I go walking on out.
Professor Beakley is outside interviewing some of the disappointed sandwich eaters about their experience.
I walk up to the professor and put like an arm around her and go, "Hey, I'm ready for our interview now."
Let's
go. We should go over to the media room place.
Thanks for talking to me and answering questions. Gotta go.
I totally love independent news sites. It's like a really cool thing for me. I'm really glad that you guys love it. We'll see you guys later. I just like roll off.
For the cake.
For the muffins.
Whenever CC says something like that, there is just a roar from everyone nearby. It's just huge. The crowd is so hyped.
I'm like, can we find like a little room or something to talk into?
Yes, absolutely. You walk through the hall, and your Metzel disguise does continue getting attention, but the crowd isn't too bad. They mostly treat you with respect, except when you're obviously like amping them up.
Cool. I'm gonna like duck us into a room somewhere and immediately pull off the mask and go, "Oh my god, that was a lot. I don't know how he does it."
I thought you did amazing.
Thank you. I worked really hard on the accent. Look, I got the recipe. I don't know how to read it, but I will figure it out. And then we're going to be so far into pretzels. Look, I got a whole bag of pretzels for us, another bag of the mint ones, because, oh my gosh, they're limited edition. Limited edition. Yeah, I'll make them any day I want to, as soon as I figure out how to read this recipe.
So that was an extremely, extremely successful heist.
Now onto the big game.
So, yes, does anyone else want to do anything here?
Cosplay!
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the cosplay.
Benny just asking if you have anything to do with
this.
Oh,
no, I'm just letting this play out.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show, and there's lots of great people watching going on in this chaos. So, we will fast forward to the cosplay competition. The show floor has only gotten busier during the afternoon, though it has, the crowds have kind of dispersed. They're kind of spread out amongst the convention center. During the open ceremony, Christopher Metzel got on stage and announced the new sandwich-themed expansion. And that's why we've been serving sandwiches all day. It's in celebration of the sandwich expansion coming this fall to Heroes of the Dough. So, the crowd is pretty hyped, and also sandwiches are delicious. Sandwiches on pretzel buns, pretty good. So, costume contest coming up. They're starting to get organized by the main stage. Backstage, all of the cosplayers are milling around, setting up, ready to go on stage.
I'm waddling around in my incredibly heavy, even though it's not actually metal, Bake King armor. And I have the special limited edition set of gingerbread. Like, it's all gingerbread looking because it's it's the special skin.
Of course, it's
So
it's the special winter themed Bake King skin that they released 2 years ago for the holidays.
Mm-hmm. So
it is very impressive.
All the red and green dots around it, and the frosting edges, and Frosting Morn itself has got a little dab of stuff on the end because that's how you spread it. Obviously, why would he not just use his gigantic sword to do that? That makes perfect sense. So yeah, I'm just waddling around because emo, waiting to see how well I do when I get to do the walk and everything.
So where is everyone else when the costume competition is starting? You were planning on doing your heist during this, so where's everyone positioned for this?
Yeah, they should be over at the arena because this is just a possible distraction. They need to be here for that.
I mean, I'm just milling about waiting to pull
stand by the breaker.
Okay.
That we figured out we needed for the esports arena.
Yeah, and I'm just milling about trying to make sure that I have easy access to the fire alarm.
I'm in a high enough spot in kind of I'm assuming there's like spots for people to watch the arena competition.
Yes, there's kind of there's stadium seating in the arena.
Yeah, I want one high enough that I have like a decent view of the room.
Mm-hmm. Thurston's up high enough that he can kind of keep an eye on the guards and make sure they're filtering out and they're kind of decreasing in number.
So there are also kind of in the high points of the arena, there's sort of scaffolding. That's not the right word. That lights are hanging off of. So there's something of that nature that you can go and perch on and keep an eye on everything. And of course, since you scheduled a shift change right now, there are people leaving, people waiting for their replacement to come on and looking at their watches and like, why are they late? Did they not get the new schedule? I should probably text them. But there's a lot of switching around and maybe some confusion because this was a pretty last-minute change. So yes, security is lightening just because of sort of the confusion. Some people are like, well, the schedule says my shift is over. I'm just going to leave. I don't have to be here. The schedule says, So security has lightened up in the arena. And the crowds in the arena have also lightened up because everyone wants to say the costume contest is pretty exciting. And even there's still some esports players at their desks. There's still some technical folks at their desks, making sure all the cabling is right, making sure there aren't any issues for the big competitions tonight. Yeah, waiting for their sandwiches to come. The esports team, they're mostly here for the competition. Maybe not so interested in cosplay. So a lot of them are still here waiting on dinner. And there are some really dedicated fans in the arena holding their spots. They want to make sure they have good seats for the end of the night.
Okay, so who's going to set this off?
So we know Frankie.
Do you want me to do my fire alarm impression?
Well, you're gonna if you're gonna do the lights, I think we would. Well, I'll shut up. Other people can talk.
No,
I'm just
Benny.
I just want to say we know Professor Beakley is by the breaker boxes to hit the lights. Frankie is up in the... he's got a seat in the stadium seating, watching everything. Thurston is up in the rafters, sitting near the lighting, keeping an eye from the sky. Drum, ready to enter the cosplay contest, maybe make a scene. Benny.
Well, I guess that's the confusion, because I thought we were going to hide the thing in Drum. So are we
waiting?
Yeah,
we're
waiting.
That's why I thought you guys would have to wait until after at least until I walk.
Exactly, yeah. So we have to wait for that to be done.
We're waiting for Drum to walk. That's going to be our signal. Because then Drum's going to hightail it back to where we are at.
Yep. Like I'm not waiting to see if I win.
Drum's got long legs.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, emos are pretty fast.
Okay. Very, very good point from Biddy. In the logic and the chaos. What are you going to be doing, Biddy?
I'm waiting to pull the fire alarm.
Okay. And Cecilia, I assume that you are in the arena as well?
I am loitering near the center of things, just talking to people about the matches that have happened so far and who happens to be in lead, and if they think anybody and also what they think of so-and-so's gluten allergy, because that seems to be the hot topic of the day. And basically just keeping space near a target.
Okay. So, all of this is going on, and let's cut over to the costume contest. Up on the stage, the crowd over here is actually pretty packed. It's not quite as packed as it was for the opening ceremony, but it is pretty close. So, they start introducing cosplayers one at a time. Everyone is in order. Everyone, parades across the stage. Some people are, a little better dressed than others. Some people, it's like, it's an A for effort. You were clearly very enthusiastic about this. And there were some people who went all out and have, realistic articulating pretzel arms coming up out of their backs.
Are they broadcasting this, on the screens in the arena?
They are. Yes, they are.
Okay, good, because I want to see Drum walk.
So one after the other, people parade across the stage. They have their little moment in the spotlight and walk back off. And eventually, Drum, kind of halfway through the event, it is your turn to get up and walk across the stage. What are you doing?
Basically, I wanted to set it up so that I come out through the curtain and the sword is lit up because it's actually a plastic crystal with LEDs in it. So the sword lights up and I walk about halfway, stagger, fall to one leg, and the braid breaks on the ground because it's set up to break when I smack it down, and I curse and rip off the helmet, and basically I replicate the Bay King's death animation from Heroes of the Dough, and I just boom, oh no! And then when the lights,
only dark bread before me.
Yes, nice. And then as the lights dim a little, I just scoot off the stage. I could literally just get off the stage as fast as I can because I have to get to the other side of the place.
And there is
elbow
a
the
lot.
person I'm talking to and go, "That's my buddy."
There is a lot of applause as you do this. This is a very, most people are walking across the stage, doing a turn. This was a very dramatic reenactment, and the crowd is very impressed. So you head off the stage. What is everyone else doing to enact their plan?
Well, I'm just waiting for once the lights go out, then I'm hitting the fire alarm.
Okay.
And I think the cue was supposed to be when we see Drum running in. That's when we hit the lights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll give him a few minutes to get through the crowd before I bust that box.
And I didn't really have an assigned role, but if I see any guards who somehow see through our distractions and are heading for the trophy, I'm gonna mess them up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
all right, let's kill the light.
One of the things about Christopher Metzel is he is very paranoid about birds. Since, a pigeon many years ago, a pigeon came and stole his first batch of Metzel's pretzels.
It wasn't me, I swear.
And I mean, this story is the stuff of legend. No one knows who pulled out this heist, stealing the very first batch of these much favored pretzels. So Metzen is very wary of birds, and security has been pretty tight. But y'all have done a lot to keep the heat off, to keep him distracted. So I think you have very good odds here. So just give the word. Give it the word.
Let's do this. Lights out.
Okay, the lights drop. There's kind of sort of anxious murmuring in the crowd. They don't know what to do. When the lights go off...
Oh my God, what was that, you guys? I'm so surprised.
When the lights go off, it is extremely, extremely dark. Outside in the front of the convention hall, it's walls of glass, but inside the rooms themselves, there are no windows. There are not windows in here. It is extremely, extremely dark.
All right. Then I would like to do my distraction chaos moment and pull the fire alarm.
And the fire alarm goes off, and there is the anxiety level in the crowd amps up pretty quickly. And no one pays attention to the emergency evacuation maps. And now it's very dark. So there are people kind of going in every direction, and they don't know which direction to go. Most of them are heading towards where they remember the front entrance was. So there is a rush of people in that direction, even as some staff pull out flashlights and they're like, orderly evacuation, one at a time, emergency. They're trying to direct people, but people are pretty concerned.
Cece's gonna avoid the flashlights and try and get up to where the trophy's at.
Thurston's going to glide down and try to find Drum and land on his back and sort of make sure that he can get where he's going in the dark. Since owls have night vision, I can kind of whisper the best way to go around the crowd.
Okay. I'm using the sword to provide me a little light, but that's much better. So I turn my sword off. Just tell me where to go. But hold on. And I break out into a full sprint, which is of 50 kilometers per hour. Emus can run pretty quick.
So make me either a wings roll or a talons roll for making probably talons for making this rush through the crowd. Do you manage to? A 6 is a success. You have a D6, right?
Yep, 6 is the top of it. Yep.
So a 6 is your cover where you succeed based on based on your disguise, based on your excellent disguise. You were still dressed up as the Bake King.
Nobody messes with the Bake King.
No one messes with the Bake King. So even as some of the security, some of the employees trying to evacuate hit you with their, get you in the light, even as some emergency lighting comes up and you're more easily seen, they're just like, whoa, it's the Bake King, get out of the way. So everyone kind of, if they see you, they dodge around you, and you make very good time to the other side of the arena, the other side of the convention center.
Okay. Thank you, Thurston. Again, you're much smarter than I am.
I'll throw in a little bit of a screech to make sure that he's successful in getting people out of his way. The owl screech, something along the lines of the background noises from the icing citadel.
Absolutely terrifying. Yes, people are. They do not want to be there.
Probably sounds like that one from the login screen where you tried to get in before Cinnamon Ghost yelled at you.
Oh, God. It was the worst.
Your pathetic spices have betrayed you.
Can Cece get up to where the trophy is? Can she pull it down or?
So make a wings roll or a talons roll. About can you jump up there, dodge away from people, and get to where you want to be?
I got a 7.
And are you rolling wings or talons?
Which one is which?
So wings is like agility, and talons is more strength. So how are you doing this basically?
Well, she's trying to be kind of stealthy about it.
Okay, that would be, if you're trying to be stealthy, that I'm going to say that's feathers.
Okay, yeah, so she's trying not to be noticed, is basically.
Okay, and some emergency lighting has come up here, not enough to really give a good lighting. A lot of the security is focused on getting people out, and there's less security than usual. It's very chaotic. No one knows where to go. So yes, you do manage to get up to the trophy. It is on the central dais. There's the trophy, and there are just pretzels scattered all around it.
I pick up a few pretzels and eat them while I'm pulling at the trophy. This is heaven.
Yeah, Rob. Yeah, so Frankie, you're in here. What are you doing?
If I can see Cece making a go for the trophy, I'm gonna join her so that we got 2 in one spot, and that way I can fend off any heat she gets. But also, I'm gonna get some of those pretzels and throw them into the trophy. May as well carry them out with us, right?
They're delicious.
Yes.
And while they're doing that, with everybody cramming for the exits, I'm going to try to cause more chaos by randomly tripping people.
Okay, roll talents to see how successful you are at that.
That is a 6.
And a 6, that's your cover, isn't it? That's the maximum roll on your dice?
That is the max.
So that is your cover. That is an automatic success, and you were using your disguise to help you succeed here.
Well, I guess I probably would have already been. I would already be in like the janitor getup, I guess, or what the uniforms that we got, I guess, would be the best way. So
Okay.
I'm just making my way through people and just like occasionally just tripping one of them up.
So actually, since you are using your disguise to help you, you could be in here giving them incorrect information about the exits.
Yeah,
the
let's do
exits are
that.
back that way. That's the nearest exit.
Yeah, let's do
And
that.
everyone
more
thinks
chaos.
you are. Everyone thinks you're an employee, so everyone is listening to you, following your instructions. And now half of this area is going the wrong way, and people are running into each other. It's a mess over here at this exit.
Perfect.
So I will say that Thurston and Drom, you make it over to the entrance of the esports arena just fine, and there is a lot of chaos at the entrance to the arena. This is people coming and going, trying to get out. Security is trying to help people in the right direction, but it's a little bit of chaos.
Easy, we gotta go. There's Drom.
Do you think I could jump over them all, or are they in the way, or what?
They are in the way. You will have to make your way through the crowd, and I'll say you could use wings and literally fly over the crowd.
I can't actually do that. I'm an human. Sightless.
They could come out to you. Well, I should ask, which one are you doing? Are you trying to muscle your way in, or are you? Actually, they have to come out of the arena because the truck is parked behind the convention hall. Yeah. So they have to come out.
Okay, then I will basically try to look as much like a statue of the Bake King as possible. Have a statue of the Bake King there. I just go up against the wall and look like a statue.
And maybe with an owl perched on you that is making these screeching sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd have one, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's making accurate sound effects. Thurston is there.
Okay, so Frankie and I are going to try and get this thing out of here.
So I'll say you could muscle your way through with talons. You could fly through the crowd with wings or use agility to duck through people's legs. You tell me how you want to get out.
We're probably going to want to muscle our way through here, I'm thinking.
Well, Professor Beakley
can
do a distraction for you if you need it.
Okay.
Because of course the African grey parrot is known for its keen intellect as well as its skilled mimicry.
Ah, okay. So what would you like to do?
Well,
Professor Beakley will distract everyone by shouting in Christopher Metzel's voice, "Free muffins and cake for the faction who can shout their loyalty the loudest." Over by the bakery.
Everyone is kind of confused. Everyone is extremely confused. They're going in different directions because Benny has been misdirecting people. They are a little spooked by this super realistic Bake King that is outside the entrance of the arena. They are confused. The alarm is blaring behind them, and now there's free food. Free food. I mean, maybe was this all planned? Is this all an act? Is this free food? So then we are shouting for the muffins, for the pretzels, for the bread. And so yes, now there is even more chaos, and security is still trying to get people going in the right direction, but it's become almost impossible.
Okay. So what do we need to roll? Can I roll? What is it?
Roll talons.
For muscling. Talons? Okay.
Yeah. And both of you roll.
Okie doke.
A 1?
Well, a 1 is a gadgets roll. So that means you have a piece of technology that you obviously planned on having from the start that immediately makes you succeed at this. So yeah, you tell me.
Flashback to when I gave the owl the set of cooking utensils.
No, I rolled the...
Yes, I know. You now could have those. You just decided you wanted them and you took them when he wasn't looking.
Well,
wait, no. I know what I'm going to do. Okay,
cool.
How big is this trophy?
It's about a foot tall and maybe 8 or 9 inches wide. It's good size. It's not huge.
Frankie, you think you can push this thing on your own?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to climb up inside of it, right? I'm just going to climb up on top of all of the pretzels that we put in it, and I'm going to take the Metzel mask out of my pocket. And I'm going to slip it on real fast. Does that count as a gadget?
had it on me.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Meanwhile, I got a 6 for my talons check, which is a success.
That is a success. So yes, you are easily able to, grab onto the trophy or push the trophy, hang on to either way. You've got a good grip on the trophy and you are able to muscle through the crowd, push people aside when you need to.
And I'm going to poke my head out of the top and go, hey, you guys, it's all good. It's cool. We need to evacuate. It's all out this way. Come on, let's go. For the muffins. For the pretzels.
There is again a lot of shouting in response whenever Metzel calls out for a callback.
Point to the entrance that I want everybody to spill out of, right? Let everybody, while they're spilling out, spill out with them. And then I'm gonna duck back into the trophy, right? And get to the side and go, Frankie, get over the drum. Get over the drum.
Now it's kind of a stampede at this point. People are following Metzel's voice, and they are, they're running for the exits. And then there are, of course, the people who are running for the free baked goods in the bakery from the last call out. And there are people just running in the wrong direction because Benny is misdirecting them. So yes, with all of this chaos, you can definitely get to your emu friend.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna wing it to the emu as fast as I can with this trophy.
Okay.
Just gonna shove it into his wings. Here.
I'm an emu because I'm all skulls and stuff on my gingerbread armor. Once they get to me, I'll literally, I'll have Thurston do a loud shriek and pop up, and I'll try to grab the trophy with her in it, I guess with CC in it, and just stick it under the armor plate.
Okay, and I will ask Thurston specifically, is there anything else you want to do here?
Yeah, I guess guide everybody on the way out.
Okay, yeah, because there's some emergency lighting, but it is still pretty dark.
I was going to say, if there's a role involved, that might actually be a job for Frankie.
Yeah, we should probably look into that. Frankie, get us out of here.
So what are you trying to do here from this point?
So there's not very much in the way of lighting, correct?
Not very much. But there's a little, but not much.
Yeah, so I'm not really trying to be subtle about it. I just want to lead everybody, navigate us safely through this crowd back to our truck. And this is where I get to drop my second bird fact. Grackles are one of a species of bird that generates a naturally known material called magnetite in their brain and their beak. But what this does is it lets grackles navigate using the latent magnetic fields of the Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Yep.
So that's how I want to navigate us out of this place.
Absolutely. And I'm going to assume that Thurston is also flying overhead, keeping an eye out, helping you get, the best way through these chaotic stampeding crowds at this point. Because you may know which way magnetic north is, but he has a better view of what's happening. Now, I'm going to say...
on Overwatch.
Oh, he is. He's on Overwatch, keeping an eye on you guys. So I am going to ask, Benny, what are you up to after getting the crowd riled up and going in every direction?
Oh, no, I just need to cheese it and meet up with the gang, so...
Okay. And you know what direction they're in.
Apparently emus have magnetoreception as well.
A lot of birds do. I
didn't think of it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just surprised. I'm like, wow, I did not know that.
That and
one emu fact.
Who knew?
By listening to this game, you have subscribed to Bird Facts.
It's true. And Professor Beakley, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think I'm just hanging back and taking photos.
Yeah, that does fit with your cover. Kind of getting a look at pretty dark photos, but still, you're getting some crowds. Every time they kind of hit right in the emergency lights, you get some crazy dramatic shots of people.
It's for the scrapbook.
Get a great one of the Bake King.
Yeah. Well, you need to post it on Brownie Watch, obviously.
Lots of green and red lights, and the big blue sword. So yeah, you can probably track me relatively easily.
Mm-hmm.
So you make it to the back door to the loading dock, and back there is a box of employee uniforms. You've got the bowling shirts, you got the whole look out there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There is also
armor. So as I'm taking off the armor, I'm putting on that stuff.
Mm-hmm. There are also people. There's a lot of confusion back here as well. Some people have made their way out this exit and are confused. Where am I supposed to go? What's going on? Is the building on fire? What's happening? Are there free muffins inside? I don't know. And there are some, dock workers and employees who are trying to get people to go where they should go, to evacuation zones or whatever. So there is, again, distraction. But I would like a feathers roll from everyone who is out here. You're getting to a new costume. You are trying to sneak away. Huh?
Everybody but Thurston is out here, aren't we?
Everyone except Thurston. Did you follow everyone out or not?
Yeah, we're on the way out with everyone.
So everyone except Professor Beakley is out here.
I rolled a 2.
A 2 is indeed a failure. So
I got a 5.
I rolled a 1.
5 is a success. Okay, hang on. Let me go down the list. Frankie, what did you roll?
I rolled an 8, which is my cover.
8 is your cover. So you have gotten into your outfit, and you look great. You look extremely convincing. Everyone is sure you're supposed to be here. No problem. Thurston, what did you roll?
2.
2. A 2 is a failure on feathers. So we have 1 success, 1 failure. Let's see. Thurston, Drom, what did you roll? You rolled a 1?
1, yep.
So that is a success using your... I don't know how this is going to work. That's a gadget roll. But using your gadget that you brought, you managed to completely succeed. Do you want to tell me how you succeed at your roll with your gadget of a brick?
Like, how are people like looking around and they might see us changing?
Yes, they might. There are a fair number of people, and they aren't actively watching for you, but there are a lot of eyes out here.
I throw the brick so that it hits the nearest parcan type light and pushes it out so it's blinding the people in the crowd instead of illuminating us.
Okay, yeah, we'll say there is an emergency light back here that is lit up, and yes, you smash it out of the way, and everyone is suddenly looking in a different direction. It is dim over here. So let's see. Benny, you were out here with everybody. What did you roll?
I rolled a 5.
A 5. A 5 is a success, so you get your costume on. You're looking great. And Cecilia, you rolled a failure, I think.
A 2.
2. So that is a failure. You were not too convincing, but we had more. Let's see. We had 2. I was going to do this based on how many successes and failures we had, but it's even, I think.
We had 3 successes, didn't we?
3. One of you isn't here.
We had Frankie and Thurston and Benny all succeed. No, Drom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, 3. 3 successes, 2 failures. Yes. So I'm going to say that between everyone who succeeded is going to, particularly Drom throwing that brick that got people's attention away, and Frankie and Thurston got their costumes on and got set up.
Frankie is doing an impersonation of a different game developer, this time game director Ian Halakostas, and just using his very calming tone to convince everyone that there's no need for alarm.
Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting who succeeded and who failed. So, Cecilia, I know you failed. You do take a heat, and you have to make a heat roll.
I rolled a 5.
A 5, that is over your current heat, so that is a success, no further consequences. Okay, Thurston, you failed. Oh my gosh, I'm not keeping track of this very well.
I've got 3 heat.
Yes,
hopefully
you
roll
do. So
3 or above.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Well, so a 3 is you get to pull a big con. You clear all of your heat, and you get to pull a big con. So explain to me how you have pulled off a smashing success at disguising yourself and getting out of here.
So as Thurston is changing into the employee outfit, it looks like he is struggling and kind of falling off the loading dock and catching attention because he goes down in a heap of feathers. But suddenly he kind of in a billow and flash of light, he emerges from it with the security guard uniform that everyone seems to think he was wearing all along. And with a distinct cry from the World of Breadcraft expansion, the Burning Croissant, and an imitation of one of the final bosses having that phoenix that everyone really wants. And that one's called the Screeching Rebirth.
Okay, yeah, and everyone is always excited. Yeah, it's chaos, but you're still excited to see these, cosplayers, the nerdy references, all of these things. You get a few cheers, and then the light, it's poor lighting, and everyone's attention moves on. So I am going to say with this, yeah, everyone is able to make it to the truck, except Professor Beakley. You are still inside.
Yep, I'm going to take a few more pictures and then saunter out the front entrance.
Yes, I am going to say you don't have any trouble getting out with the crowd. It's a little bit of a rush. Yeah, there's still a lot of chaos, but everyone is trying to leave. The employees are trying to get you to leave. It is not a problem to walk out, particularly since you have nothing suspicious on you. So yes, everybody climbs into the car except Professor Beakley, who went out the front and drives back to the hotel. You get into the hotel parking garage and you head back up to your penthouse suite. And Professor Beakley, it is not a problem to walk over to the hotel, take the elevator up. No problem. Everyone is back in their suite with their prize.
I'm going to dispose of the van while they do that.
Okay. And the boxes, the extra crates of pretzels that you managed to get off with because they were waiting outside for you. You loaded those onto the truck. You are quite a haul.
You guys, you got to try the pretzels that are in the trophy. They are so good. Somebody needs to call Lou and let him know that we got it.
It is like this special, like, Asagio cheese pretzel that has hunks of cheese inside, so you taste it, and it's like a little bit of like this perfect pretzel with that kind of salty taste, and then you get a little bit of cheese, like just the right amount, and it's so good. It's so good. Totally different kind of good, still good. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sounds really good right now, actually.
Yeah, it does. I apologize. And you call Lou, and Lou comes up. You were like surrounded in pretzels. You divide up your spoils.
We made sure to pay the seagulls.
Lou was paid off the seagulls in, helping with the heist. And also they got pizza. That's kind of a payment in itself.
I mean, I could go for some pizza too.
This is great. Metzel is gonna be ruined by this chaos. I can't wait to see it. All of these years watching him make it big off of these pretzels.
He wouldn't share.
It's just fair. You gotta share. You gotta share the loot with your birds. He takes a bite out of one. Just as delicious as I remember.
Is the extra trophy edible?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say it's a giant. It is a giant pretzel, but you know the way, food that is made to like look really pretty, and in this case, it's supposed to be kind of sturdy. It doesn't taste stale exactly, but the outer dough is a little too.
Whoa, this is super crunchy.
Yeah, it's a little crunchy, and it's got like extra egg wash on it to make it like shiny and crisp. So it's not the best pretzel you've ever eaten, but it is.
I'm gonna take a bite out of it just for the principle of the thing.
It's not bad, but it's not as good as the other pretzels. Like maybe if it had a dipping sauce, maybe some cheese sauce would be good. Something. Yeah, it's an all right pretzel. It's not the best pretzel.
I called down to the
Professor Beakley prefers raw ale.
I called a room service and see if they can send us up some cheese sauce and mustard.
Yeah, absolutely, you have a
thinking,
feast.
My bird.
I'm gonna say something because Matt sent me a DM. I am going to Matt, make me oh gosh. I need a roll from you. I'm gonna say it's a feathers roll at disadvantage.
5.
Did he win?
5 is a success on a feathers roll. So
6.
a 6 is still a success on a feathers roll. So while you have been enjoying your loot, I would like everyone else to make a brains roll.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, I don't have any of those.
A little one.
Failed the
Okay.
4.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
I've also rolled a 1.
So we have 3 1s, and what about you, Thurston?
3.
A 3 is a success. So we have 3 1s, which is a gadgets roll. You have some piece of technology that is going to help you succeed with what is happening right now, which is Matt causing trouble. So
Y'all remember how Drom said
He was going to get rid of the van.
yeah, you Thurston, you notice Drom, he was going to get rid of the van, but he was going to come back. I mean, obviously he wants his share of the spoils. It's been a little too long, and he is still not back. And you think for a minute, Drom was going to go to the convention. He was just going to go to the convention. He had this cosplay all worked out. He loves these games.
You don't think that
He
large
loves-
fellow would be back after all of this? He'd be foolish enough to make it to this afternoon and the second day of the conference, do you?
Well, I mean, did he win the contest?
No one knows. The contest didn't end because the lights went off, the fire alarm got pulled. But I am going to say, you keep thinking about this. This is bothering you, and you're talking, throwing some ideas around with everyone. And what if he has called the cops? Because he doesn't want Metzel to be ruined. He loves this guy and the games he's made.
You guys, is he a snake? Is he a snake in emu clothing?
could be said to be a
So-
stool pigeon.
So Thurston has figured this out. He throws out this idea to the rest of you. Those of you who rolled 1s, the 3 of you who have rolled 1s, you have some kind of gadget that is going to help you get out of this situation. That is going to help you, either make off with the loot or get away before anyone can show up.
I have a suggestion.
Hmm.
I could just text them. I don't have anything
You
against them. I just don't want to see Metzel get ruined. So I could text them and say, you should leave. The FBI's coming.
Okay. And, so the 3 of you get a text message that says, you should get out of there because heat's about to come down on you. What all of y'all do?
Dirty rat. I'm gonna,
I will let you decide if you think he's helping you out or if he's ratted. You can make your own call there. Yeah, your gadget could be your cell phone, or you can think of something, anything you want.
I'm gonna put the mask back on.
I mean, are you staying here or are you getting
I'm gonna
out?
go down into the lobby to where the bar's at. I'm like, you guys, I'm gonna make a distraction. You get out of here, okay?
So you go down into the lobby. I'm gonna say make a feathers roll with advantage.
The 6?
A 6 is a success on a feathers roll.
Okay.
So, what are you doing?
Because the other one was like a 2.
Do we get the voice?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna walk into the lobby where the DJ is still playing, right? I'm gonna walk into the lobby and I'm gonna throw my gloved hands high and go, gamers, welcome to the after party. Come on, everybody, let's go dance. And I'm just gonna start busting some moves on the dance floor in front of the DJ and see if I can get everybody else to come over.
They completely 100% buy it. Absolutely buy it. So yes, there is a crowd of cheering fans, and they kind of, they start to spill out into the lobby. the FBI does show up. There's some sort of heist. An emergency call was made, but they're caught up in all of these fans, and they can't figure out what's going on. There is such a crowd; it's hard to even make it to the front desk.
The rest of you get out the back or get out however you can. Use whatever you got.
So I will say 2 of you still have a gadget roll to work with.
So Professor Beakley is going to bust out her backup disguise, which is an animatronic Baron Bagelgaz costume, upon whose shoulders she perches.
Okay, so you got a great disguise here.
Yep, and just gonna mingle with the partygoers for a minute, and then squeak out the front door at the first opportunity.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna say no problem with your gadget, and I believe Frankie.
My gadget is a toolbox from the construction store, from the hardware store I live in. Makes it a lot easier to pack my portion of the loot, and I'm just going to take half that trophy for the principal of the thing. Shove it all in this nice toolbox, and pick it up and make my escape for it.
Okay, yeah,
a lot of pretzels fit in the Baron Bagelgaz costume as well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask who's making off with their loot.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking my portion. I'm taking John's portion too.
So I will say, if any of you with those successful rolls, anyone, including you, Thurston, because you got onto this idea before everyone else did. You were starting to pack up your loot if you want to, and all of you were able to make it out and evade the FBI presence in the lobby.
So is anybody telling this is all out in the open so I can actually leave?
Yeah.
Because I failed.
Oh, wait, you completely failed? Okay, I'm going to say we had more successes than failures on that roll, considering the gadget rolls. So I'm going to say that between Thurston and Frankie and
I'm making a big distraction.
And yeah. I'm going to say everyone else, when you're kind of misstepping there, kind of, maybe all of these names. Maybe Professor Beakley grabs you and kind of tucks you behind that big bulky costume, and Thurston was like, "Okay, was advising you okay, you got to get out, take this bag, you got to go." So everyone else is helping you to make sure that you can get out.
Yeah, then I wouldn't even care about the loot at this point. I would be so mad. I just leave or get out and start planning my revenge.
Oh boy! So I'm gonna say everyone has made it out successfully, and
Cece had a few pretzels stuffed in her pockets. Not all of her loot though, but she's got the recipe, and that's all she needs.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Everyone, tell me what you're all going your separate ways now, unless you want to do something else. And so I want to know what you're doing next, what you're doing from here. Professor Beakley, where are you going after this?
I'm going to go and visit the home nation, or the home continent of my ancestors, Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been there. And I hear that my people are kind of endangered in the wild, so I'm going to take all the bread to them.
What a noble thought. Okay. And Frankie, where are you going with your ill-gotten gains?
We just see Frankie back in the rafters of the local Home Depot with his. He opens it up and he calls his cronies around. He says, "All right, everybody, successful day. Eat up." And he has a little pretzel buffet for his pigeon underlings.
Yeah, everyone is thrilled. You are their new best friend. Everyone is so excited to be here working with you. Okay, so, Thurston, where do you go from this adventure?
Oh, the West Coast is new money, and I don't like to spend more time than I need to, but I did catch word of a polo match that was happening a little bit up the coast, so I fly up the I-15 and pick my way around to see if there's any, discarded bonbons that I can pillage.
So, Drum, where are you headed after all this?
Cut to the Metzels Pretzels campus, where the truck drives up, stops on a parking spot, which then descends into the bowels of the earth, come to a dark, Fast and the Furious style base, where I come out, and as I do, pull off the emu mask, revealing the face of Chris Metzel. Stage 1 is complete. Soon that pigeon who stole from me and all his accomplices will be destroyed. And I get a bunch of claps from my minion.
I am going to say, Mr. Metzel, that you do know it's a pigeon that originally stole your first pretzels.
Yes, you know exactly which pigeon it was. The one that organized this heist. My eternal foe.
Yes, it was Looky Lou. And you almost caught him once. You nearly had him
That's
in
why
a
I
net.
came up with this plan. By the way, why are you recapping everything?
Do I pay you to recap things?
Okay, that's fine. That's
you
bitching.
Took it this
that's
direction.
Totally bitching.
You took it this direction. I have to follow through. So you knew Lou was going to plan something for this. There were just too many pretzels for him to ignore it. You have been trying to lure him in all along, but he sent these flunkies. He sent these flunkies instead of coming himself. That's unacceptable. You're going to have to do something about this. But
wait till they find out the secret I hid in those pretzels. It's a totally pigeon secret.
Yeah, Benny, what are you up to after this?
Yeah, Benny is not normally a conventionally smart bird. However, Benny is a bird that understands revenge and is driven by rage. And so I think what winds up happening is he spends his share of the loot after he gets out of there. And when Metzel goes to his private quarters in his little underground bunker, what greets him is just thousands of statues of Lucky Lou, and they're all in this like big grin, and there's just pretzel crumbs scattered everywhere with a little note that says "You're welcome." As instead of the horse head, that's what he gets in his private quarters.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. And Cece, you were the last member of our crew.
Cece's gonna sashay her way back to the East Coast where she belongs, thank you very much, and take that recipe with her. And she's going to go back to the streets again where she belongs, thank you very much. And she's going to find a nice chef somewhere, one of those nice hoity-toity 5-star chefs that they've got all up and down the really fancy parts of town, and she's going to seduce them and get them to show her how to read that recipe, and they're going to make beautiful pretzels together.
Okay. And Lou himself manages to get out with the rest of you. Lou has been around. He always has a backup plan. He gets out with a bag of pretzels of his own and continues to plot his own revenge against Christopher Metzel. One day, Metzel. One day. And that is our game of Pigeons 11, which I knew it was going to be strange. I think it went absolutely beyond my expectations. Thank you, everyone, for playing today.
Would you say we took it to 11?
Yeah, you took it to 12, guys. You took it to 12, at least 12.
That's the power of Goop operative storytelling.
Yeah, I had this idea to set it at a parody version of BlizzCon. And Mitch had the suggestion that the Metzel should be a pretzel maker, and it spiraled from there.
Of course, Mitch.
Hey, I think it works.
And every one of you took it and ran with it. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you for joining us in this craziness.
I was personally just trying to keep up with Joe and Dan because I knew they were going to.
Look, I didn't show up today expecting to do impressions of my boss, but okay.
And it was a very good impression. I thoroughly enjoyed this. So yes, that is Pigeons 11. Thank you everyone for listening, and if you enjoyed the show, please subscribe to Tavern Watch on your podcast player of choice. And you can support Blizzard Watch on Patreon at patreon.com/Blizzard Watch so we can make more podcasts like this that are super extra weird. Thank you so much, everybody.
Blizzard Watch is made possible due to the generous contributions at patreon.com/blizzardwatch. Your continued support means that this podcast sighting community is able to thrive and grow. Blizzard Watch supporters enjoy exclusive benefits like early access to the podcast, better chance at having your question answered on our podcast with a queue, and an ads-free site experience. We'll see you next time, folks.